What's up, gang? Wanted to make a quick video on some readily available set bonus gear that should allow you to increase your damage pretty significantly. With the recent removal of the socket crafts with locked perks, I think the devs are slowly but surely shaping gearing towards the vision that they had described in dev videos. That being mixes of set bonuses, artifacts, and gear with 3 to 4 charm/gem sockets. First and foremost, the two sets we're looking at are the elementally charged and the overcharged set. Both are exclusively obtained by the Catacombs reward vendor located in the Nighthaven Inn. In the shop menu, you can see crates for weapons, armor, and jewelry for each set, and they all have the same price of 10 mythic crowns. This is the currency rewarded in the Catacombs for defeating 2 or more bosses and extracting successfully. With a decent random group, 3 bosses is usually feasible, and with a coordinated group, you can likely get much further more consistently. For longer term farming to roll the random fixed perks on the set crates, I would definitely recommend you find a good group to get crowns more efficiently. That being said, let's take a peek at the set bonuses. The elementally charged set offers bonuses at 2 and 4 pieces. To receive any benefit from the bonus, you will need to use a magic weapon to generate charges. The 2 bonus is essentially a persistent elemental attunement effect on a non-magic weapon at the cost of lower magic weapon ability damage. This is the breakpoint I hit using a weapon and the chest piece from the set. The 4 bonus adds a potential second stack and will provide resistance to the element of which the charges are derived from. So using 2 fire staff abilities and thus receiving 2 stacks would add 10% fire resistance. I assume the same could be said for Void Gauntlet, Ice Gauntlet, and Life Staff for their respective elemental damage types. This could have niche application and mutations, but my understanding is that to keep the resistance active, you would not want to swap to a non-magic weapon and expend the charges. Perhaps a Void Gauntlet healer could benefit in some situations with this. Regardless, for the build I've been using, I run Inferno, and I drop my fire staff abilities, then swap to the hatchet and make use of the 10 seconds of additional fire damage on my attacks. Now let's take a peek at some of the gear, as some are definitely better than others in the set. The armor pieces are the same across weight classes, and aside from gloves, all have an infix perk related to the set. You can see them here, and as mentioned earlier, my choice is the chest. The infix provides essentially a buffed elemental aversion perk, and it can have pretty consistent uptime so long as you consume the charge quickly when swapping and using a non-magic weapon ability. Now each piece comes with a locked conditioning perk that is different among the 5 armor types, a defense and gem slot, the infix perk, or freeing aggression on the gloves, and a randomly rolled fixed armor perk. My current chest has flame conditioning as the random roll, so later on I may try for something more desirable like vital synergy. Overall, not bad pieces, and they're fairly flexible with most builds in my opinion. For weapons, we're looking at a gem slot, offense slot, and skill slot, with lightning attunement on non-magic weapons and critical suppression on the magical ones. And of course, another rolled fixed weapon perk. Again, pretty flexible and decent gear. My initial hatchet roll came with keen speed, but on a new one I landed thwarting strikes, which is not bad with berserk. The jewelry in my opinion is kind of meh. The ring is decent, but I've been primarily using Blood Drinker, especially for catacombs. The amulet has stop, drop, and roll, so enough said. And the earring is okay with refreshing move and refreshing toast, but generally I think refreshment is better overall. However, if you don't mind the perks, by all means pick them up if needed. So of course, you can pick any 2 or even 4 in this set, but I'm currently enjoying the chest and hatchet to get that nice elemental damage bonus. Specifically with Inferno, this is great as it's usually treated as an offhand for some quick burst and dots, and it already gives 15% damage up close, so tacking this set bonus on makes your primary work to even greater effect. On to the Overcharge set, which I believe is slightly less niche and on paper seems like a great pickup for DPS. There seems to be a lot of gear/perk shift to a perfectionist playstyle in Season 10, which of course is the ideal scenario in most cases, but it can be more difficult to pull off in practice. This bonus activates at 3 pieces with an additional effect at 5 pieces. Right now I'm rocking 3 in the amulet, earring, and headwear, and at this threshold, when I hit or kill an enemy within 5 meters, I receive a stacking 5% base damage increase and a 10% affliction resistance, with a drawback of 4% rend, with a max of 3 stacks that has a 5-second cooldown in between. Getting hit removes all stacks, and at 5 pieces, the stack cap increases to 5, and each stack additionally provides 5% stamina regen rate. It isn't explicitly stated in the description of the bonus, but each stack persists for 20 seconds, and each additional stack refreshes this duration. At max stacks, a hit after 5 seconds will refresh the max duration but not affect the stack count. Base damage increases are very valuable, and the better you play, the higher uptime you'll have on these bonuses. Let's peep the gear available in this set. The jewelry here is a bit better than the elementally charged set with more desirable perks. They all come with a skill and gem slot, along with 2 fixed perks and a 3rd randomly rolled one from their respective pools. The ring has enchanted attacks and purging affliction, amulet has purify and well-being, Earring has refreshment and refreshing recovery. The earring is a good pickup simply for refreshment. I got pretty lucky with a beloved roll on top of it. The amulet is a bit of a generalist pick. I rolled slash protection, so it's fine enough for my purposes. And it is also neat to have the recovery slash purify synergy between those two when dropping below 50% health. Onto armor. No infixes here. Each comes with a gem and defense slot, sacrificial empowerment, a fixed perk, and yet another random roll. The head has shirking fortification, the chest vital synergy, gloves breaker bypass, legs terminal vengeance, and feet hardcore parkour. So I took the head here and rolled shock conditioning as the random. The chest and legs also appear quite good, however I'm currently running attuned leather pants and, as mentioned before, the chest from the elementally charged bonus. But with something like Nibblecoat, you could definitely run the head and legs, and with a free chest slot and another build, that could be a nice pickup as well. Weapons all come with an offense, gem, and skill slot, mortal aggression on everything but the life staff, which has resurgence, and a random fixed weapon perk. I don't have a weapon from this set here yet, but again, they offer decent flexibility in terms of the slots. And getting a 5 bonus shouldn't be too much of a stretch here. Again, I'm hitting 3 with amulet, earring, and head, but with a different or no armor artifact, adding the legs and chest or whatever else certainly seems decent. Eventually, I may shoot for the 5-piece bonus, but right now, I'm chilling with what I've got so far. To summarize, I think these two sets are quite good. It may be a good stepping stone for players to get raid ready and farm the other bonuses available there. Definitely not mandatory, but in the sea of RNG drops, it is nice to utilize something much less random that can provide a measured increase to your power. Once you're used to the catacombs, getting these should be a breeze, and it is certainly feasible to acquire the crates by solo and more casual players. As a result of farming this set, you'll also accumulate a wealth of sterlings, and these can be used to purchase crates to roll random gear for whatever pieces you still need. I managed to get good gloves and boots to round up my build for now by doing this, and of course you can always keep fishing for that perfect piece, as the sterlings don't have much other use. Overall, I think set bonuses and Season 10 as a whole are awesome additions to the game. Set bonuses specifically bring new ways to create horizontal progression and chase items. And if they, alongside new artifacts, are introduced seasonally, that is a huge way to retain players and spark build diversity that can shift metas. One thing I am curious about is if they plan to introduce new artifacts or retrofit old ones as part of set bonuses. I'm not sure if the devs intend the two categories of gear to be mutually exclusive as a way to preserve integrity of certain items and present an opportunity cost for players when deciding between two pieces of gear. I think it could be interesting to add some weaker or lesser used artifacts into set bonuses as a way to drive up their presence and power. This approach could ultimately be utilized as a form of balance as well. That'll about wrap things up here. Again, just wanted to shed some light on the power of these catacomb sets, as I haven't seen too much talk about them. Maybe this is due to the discourse surrounding RNG drops from open world farms like the Sun Tower or the gorillas at the Isle of Zurvan. But ultimately it's up to you how to play the game. Personally, I've done a bit of both. I reckon catacombs is more fun, as you can actually enjoy some gameplay. I'm quite looking forward to how they will update this mode in the future, with more rewards, map layouts and themes, maybe even some unique bosses. Only time will tell. Thanks for watching, and I hope you maybe found something useful from this. Comment and let me know any of your thoughts. Get out and get those sets, people. See you next time.